Hello, friends. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet some more, but we're going to talk about the best Pokemon to raid with in the game. So far, 5 and 6 star raids have proven to be much more difficult than they were in Sword and Shield, and so the community has kind of bound together and come up with some solid options for people who are trying to get these raids done. And of course, we're all prepping for the Charizard raid event that is going to be happening this coming weekend, which is going to prove to be very difficult as it is a 7 star raid, not a 6 star. So let's talk about some of the best Pokemon we can use to raid in Scarlet and Violet. And we do have, I'll have a couple of attackers that we'll talk about. And then after that, we'll talk about some support Pokemon that we can use to help out in these raids. So, first of all, the criteria that I'm using, I actually kind of took from Austin John Plays. He has a great video that explains a lot of this, but I figured I'd go over it as well, get the message out. There's two real factors that lead to raid success in Scarlet and Violet, and that is having damaging moves that heal for longevity, and the ability to increase your attack stat, whether that be attack or special attack. So having moves that can do that efficiently, like Belly Drum, are important. To ensure success, here are some of our Pokemon suggestions. The first is Iron Hands, the new Paradox form from Pokemon Violet that looks like Hariyama. Iron Hands has access to Belly Drum and Drain Punch, and has really bulky base stats, which makes it the premier rating Pokemon for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. If you load up its EVs with attack, hit points, and then a little bit in defense, and give it Wild Charge, Belly Drum, Drain Punch, and Iron Head, you can do quite the damage. Especially with Drain Punch, because that's going to keep you fully hit pointed. You can honestly just Belly Drum and then continuously Drain Punch, and that'll probably get you through most raids. So there you go. Iron Hands got a lot going on for it. Another one that we could talk about is Ceruledge. Ceruledge has the ability Flash Fire, which is excellent. It's going to stop you from getting hit by fire-type attacks, which can be really helpful when you're battling potentially a Pokemon, right, like Charizard. However, its hit point healing move is Bitter Blade, so not the best one in that situation. But it does have Swords Dance, so this is a really good Pokemon, maybe not for Charizard, but for other difficult raids that you might be encountering. You want to make sure it has Flash Fire, because its hidden ability is Weak Armor, which isn't going to be a great one to have. It's going to make it easier for you to get knocked out. You want to put your EVs in attack and defense and hit points. And then you're going to want to have Swords Dance, Bitter Blade, Clear Smog, and Brick Break. So if you can get a Swords Dance off or two, you can start Bitter Blading and dealing a lot of damage. Clear Smog is on there to eliminate stat changes for the raid Pokemon. So you can get rid of the Pokemon you're fighting's stat changes. Miraidon, the cover legendary for Pokemon Violet, sets electric terrain, and its ability boosts its special attack along with that. And of course, it also activates Quark Drive for Iron Hands, making Iron Hands even stronger. So Miraidon is definitely something that can go well with Iron Hands. So if somebody's using Iron Hands and you don't want to double up with that Pokemon, Miraidon's a great support Pokemon that can also deal a lot of damage. You want to give it some special attack EVs, and then of course load up on defense and hit points, and then give it Parabolic Charge, a healing move, Electro Drift, a very powerful electric move, Dragon Pulse for Dragon type, and then Dazzling Gleam is a powerful move that you can use for some type diversity there. On the other hand, Koraidon is just as good. It has all the awesome things it can do. It sets Harsh Sunlight, which raises its own attack. It activates Photosynthesis for other great attackers that we'll talk about in just a minute, like Slitherwing and Brute Bonnet. And it's got access to stat raising and healing moves. So if you power it up with attack, and then you teach it Drain Punch, Collision Course, its new signature move, Dragon Claw, and then give it Swords Dance, it's not going to be able to power up as quickly as like Belly Drum Iron Hands, but it still can get the job done. So Koraidon is a viable option in some of these more powerful raids. Slitherwing, the one that I mentioned earlier, one of the Paradox Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet, is a little less viable. It is not the easiest way to boost its attack outside of the move Bulk Up, but it does have 2 hit point gaining moves. I suggest you use Leech Life because it's more of a physical attack Pokemon, so you can give it Leech Life, Bulk Up, Brick Break, and Acrobatics, and that can get the job done there for some maybe Psychic type raids. Leech Life or Dark. Leech Life, right? Going to do a lot of damage there. Brute Bonnet, another Paradox Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet, is a lot bulkier and can still do a lot of damage, special attack or attack-wise. They have relatively high in both. And so you could load up on both the attack stats there and do Giga Drain, Crunch, Clear Smog, and Earth Power. Really get some damage going with that. So Brute Bonnet apparently is a beast in battle. Might want to give him a try. Finally, for Charizard, which is coming up this weekend, the best Pokemon we could think of so far is Azumarill. Azumarill is the clear choice because it is a fairy type, so it's going to be resisting the dragon moves that Charizard probably is bringing with it. And it's a water type, meaning it's going to be taking neutral damage from Charizard's fire type attacks. If it has huge power and the attack Belly Drum, Azumarill can get through most things. So ability, you're going to need to have huge power. You want to load up on attack and hit points. And you want to make sure it has Belly Drum, Waterfall as its water stab move, Play Rough as its fairy, and then Ice Punch for that extra kick into dragons. It's not a stab move, but it's another move you can use in the situation. Let's switch over to 2 popular support Pokemon that have been making the rounds on the internet that you might want to check out. The first being Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl with Prankster can help eliminate status moves from raid Pokemon and help all the heavy hitters deal damage and stop taking damage. So you want to make sure Grimmsnarl has Prankster, and you want to load up on defense and hit points so it can survive as long as possible. And the moves you want to give it are Taunt, stopping it from doing status moves like Confuse Ray and Yawn. Torment, making it so it can't use the same move twice in a row, which can really lower its damage output. And then Light Screen to buff your special defense. And then Swagger or Flatter based on which Pokemon you're facing. You might even want to train 2 Grimmsnarls, one with Swagger, one with Flatter, so you can orient it towards which Pokemon you're battling. So Grimmsnarl is a great possible support Pokemon for your raids. The other Pokemon we're going to talk about is Gastrodon, which can be pretty tanky if you train it right. And it also has the ability to eliminate stat changes for the opposing Pokemon using Clear Smog. So if you give Gastrodon Storm Drain, you can tank water-type moves, which would be really helpful. You can make it as bulky as you need. And then using Water Pulse, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, and then Clear Smog, which is an egg move, so you're going to have to breed that onto it. You can get a pretty powerful support Pokemon in Gastrodon in these raids. Thanks again for watching. I hope that this information is very helpful to you and that your raids are going well in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet so far. Stay tuned as we give out more information. And best of luck with that Charizard this weekend. I hope you guys catch one, and we'll see you later. Bye.